Drew Key 5000.
Which one?
They're called Drew Key 5000. Girl. Hold on.
I know Andre 5. No.
No. There are these two guys that they have like this old style, but then they drop like hip hop beats.
I've seen them. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I've seen them. I didn't know their names.
I didn't either, but they just came out with this new one. I'm gonna do like
I can't hear it, but that's funny.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No.
Anyways, I think I'm gonna do a rap verse to one of them.
That's hilarious.
Because it's begging it for it, because they have like that style and then they drop the beat.
Young lady, I've been waiting for my flight. Now I'm waiting for your baby. Hello. So what's it gonna be?
Are we gonna get copywritten?
I don't know.
Oh man.
Who knows?
Hi, I'm Jessica. This is Nora. Ruby Nora, AK is her rap name that she goes by, and she's all over Rumble. You're on all kinds of different shows besides the last hour over here. We're going to drop the news. We're just going to call it the last hour, but you're also on some other cool shows. You want to tell us about those first before we get started?
I am on Outworld Live and Nightcap with JoeyCannoli, and then I do the Quiet Part Pod with Cnosky sometimes, and then I also will do TylerTodayNews with Tyler.
I'll add some cool graphics and stuff right there.
I'm a little bit of everywhere, so.
That's awesome. Well, we're actually trying to shout out other people that are on Rumble and YouTube doing their thing independently, because all of us met in this amazing forum that was started by Tim Pool and then the Timcast server and everything. And we've all come together and done our own thing there. And now it's like, well, let's just branch off and do our own thing. So yeah, I want to make sure that I'm promoting all those guys, because you never know who's going to see what. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
we need to support our small content creators, Yeah,
it's like me. I have on YouTube, I think it's 192 subs right now. Woo, please like, share, subscribe, But I have people that have never heard of Tim Pool that are subscribers of mine, and then I'll say something and then they'll check out Tim Pool. Now, numbers wise, I feel like I'm echoing really bad today. Is that better?
Yes.
So I feel like numbers wise, how is that even possible? I'm directing people towards his channel, but that is just how it happens sometimes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, all the small creators need to get together and support each other, and we'll go from there, and we'll grow our own community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can. And that comes to topic number 1 of the last hour we're talking about today, which is miracles happen, and things that are meant to happen are going to happen. Amen. Woo! Okay. One of those being this earthquake. And you up in Alaska, everybody from Timcast knew that you were up in Alaska, and they were like, hey, are you okay? You got a tsunami? Because this earthquake should have theoretically taken you out. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm just thankful that it wasn't closer inland, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also thankful that it wasn't closer to Alaska. Now, granted, theoretically speaking, it was close to Alaska, but it was close to Attu Island, and Attu is pretty well almost uninhabited. There are some people on the island, but it's not like they have actual residents, communities that live there. Attu's it's a very, very harsh rock of an island to live on. So
Now you were saying
I'm
there was like
thankful
no
that
deaths from this earthquake, is what you were telling
no,
me?
there's no casualties so far, and I'm
What a
extremely
miracle.
thankful that
Amen.
nobody in Russia got hurt, nobody in Japan got hurt, nobody in Hawaii got hurt. They all had to worry about the tsunami. Alaska, where I'm located, we had about a foot of a swell. Now, I'm not saying a foot is nothing to laugh at, but in retrospect to everything else, a foot is nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Compared to the devastation that when you hear, oh, this is one of the strongest earthquakes, probably one of the strongest that we felt in our lifetimes, us as millennials. So,
they said it was the third highest recorded in history so
oh my
far.
God.
Um, but I'm extremely thankful it happened in the ocean. We
Mm-hmm.
have to worry about tsunamis at that point, but you have less structural damage from an actual earthquake. Now, I'm worried about how much pressure it has put on other plates and to
Mm-hmm.
see where another earthquake is going to happen because it's imminent. Now, because of this earthquake and putting that much pressure, I know that a volcano has now erupted in Russia. I cannot pronounce this volcano's name. I will not try to butcher it, so please forgive me. Go look it up. Do your research. It's but it is currently erupting, and now they're watching other volcanoes in the chain of fire to make sure that nothing else erupts.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hopefully
it's
it's,
this is kind of devastating,
well,
but
yeah. So far, just counting the blessings of it too, because, and I couldn't
yeah.
remember, like, I remember my dad telling me that there was, like, a fault line in Tennessee and how it was, this, that, and the other. And I was like, okay, whatever, Dad. So I go look it up, and I guess it's pretty damn. There we go. Oh, it's backward
Mhm.
here. But yeah, like all the little earthquakes, because we get little minor earthquakes over here. Isn't that
Mhm.
odd? I just think that's a weird thing. It created like a whole new lake system and stuff here. But it's like
Science is awesome. Plate tectonics shifting. This is how
it's
we
like
had the, transcontinental drift happen because of earthquakes and plate tectonics. People
hmm
don't sit there and think of, Pangea was technically a real thing. All the continents could have been in one and have separated and spread out, and that's where we get islands that are appearing out of nowhere and other islands that are sinking into the ocean and, you know, um
we
we had
need
the tsunami up here and it wiped out entire neighborhoods,
hmm
so things like that. Mother Nature is a crazy beast.
you know if I was a different kind of scientist, we would be going into it on Atlantis. But being that I'm a social scientist, and so are you, madam, instead we're going to direct that into feminism. Damn. Sorry, this isn't the channel for Atlantis or plate tectonics. We're a bunch of social scientists, and we're going to take down feminism. Woo! Do you like that segue?
Absolutely. And action.
Come on. Trying to think how I did
Taking
that.
down feminism.
Yes, I remember that, but I was trying to think like how I could tie it into the. I mean, I'm not really calling feminism a natural disaster, but I am saying that, you know, God, I
I
was
would call it a cultural disaster, not a
gonna
natural one.
make.
But this has definitely been a massively cultural devastation.
Yes, yes. So we, Nora and I, if you haven't noticed, we're women. We're like real women. So
We're
we
the
have a
biological ones.
we also happen to have opinions, and we also happen to have an interest in politics, and it just so happens that there's a lot more men in the places we hang out online and such too. So we have heard just about every other which way of this, that, and the other male opinion, and y'all need help. I
Some,
said it.
not all. Some, not all.
Some
A
y'all.
handful of you actually are really amazing and good, and we are not talking about you. So please, thumbs down. You're fine. But it's the other men who fall into these categories that we are speaking of. Please, 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 please get help.
Okay. Not to call out Temple for being really strangely just now recently dropping silly misogynist things that everyone's that's in the Discord that I just called out that I love being a part of and love participating in. We're all a little sick of that shit too. And it comes from when you and I talked about this, I was like, yo, I'm not trying to be one of those people that's saying like a microaggression against him saying this, that, and the other. But Tim, ever since Myron is when you pinpointed, and in retrospect, I agree with that when he had Myron Gaines on. It's just been slowly getting this narrative built, this whole lore built up, basically, that women are stupid or they can't think for themselves or things that are tied
they need
in
a defender.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't disagree with a lot of the sentiment, but he's taken it to these negative places and taken it things that are part of the Marxist feminist movement and political ideation and equating that with feminine traits, and that's pissing me the fuck off. Clip that shit.
Oh yeah, they're taking it and they're making it to an extreme.
No, I mean, he's saying, oh well, females like to be please other kind of females and they like to go along to get along and stuff and this kind of stuff, and it's like, no, that's collectivism. That's not feminine nature. That's different. That is an entirely different thing. When you want something that's better for the society, you will ostracize things that are not good for the society. But when you are trying to make other people think things are good for the society when they're not, that's fucking Marxist. That's not feminine nature. That is an entirely different thing. Did you catch that video that I was talking about? I think I sent you the one I was referring to.
Yes, I saw it. Yep, I saw it. Now, one of the things that really upset me was the last time that Myron was on, when they were in the uncensored portion. Myron flat out said that women are naturally unhappy and will complain, and that will make men better. And men who have a nagging and complaining wife are better, and women just inherently are unhappy. And I'm like, no.
Maybe they're unhappy around him. You have to see, Myron's
that's what I
only
was
view
like-
of women has been from the women that he has impacted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have to consider all the women that have been
know,
around Myron in his life to build him, for him to be built that specific image of a female, you know? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like...
Yeah. And for those who do not know, Myron Gaines is the host, co-host, whatever, of the podcast Fresh and Fit. They do things kind of like the Whatever podcast does. They bring on bimbos and women who are less intelligent and
easy targets to...
extremely easy targets, women who do not understand their self-worth, who have gone down a negative path to begin with. So arguing with them is it's too easy.
It's like when Ben Shapiro used to go to the colleges and argue.
Exactly. But then he comes in with an era of or just a complete arrogance to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts talking down and diminishing and belittling women and just nitpicking. And every single time he does it, the more he does it, the more other men are going, hey, this is okay. Let's make more jabs. And then it's becoming more and more passively aggressive that these comments are coming out of Tim. And it's starting to ostracize, like you said, it's starting to ostracize his female audience. You and I both, we've been in the Timcast server for a really long time. I've been a Timcast member for a long time, and
Same.
I don't approve or appreciate that
Mm-hmm.
this is the messaging that they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stick to what you were doing. You are not, fresh and fit. Stop being misogynistic. It wasn't
Don't
you
be
from the beginning. You were
disrespectful.
not a
That's not
Yeah,
why
it's like,
people
Tim,
follow you, because you
you've
do
never
respect
been
people.
exactly. It's like you've never been the kind of person to be openly misogynistic,
Mm-hmm.
If that's your tendencies, then damn, dude, you've been doing a real good job hiding it all these years, but
I just
I as a viewer don't appreciate it.
Myron made it normalized it for him. I feel like my audio is really bad. Hold on, let me just move a little bit. It's gonna keep bothering me. Okay, I feel like Myron, like, it's just like anything else. Do you know? Okay, I'll give you an example. You know that YouTuber Salty Cracker? You ever heard of him?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I have.
he is so unapologetically offensive and makes the worst jokes, and it's hilarious. And I remember when I first started watching him, because I've slid all which kinds of ways politically, mostly, and always staying on conservative side of things and stuff. But I remember hearing some of his stuff at first. I was like, it was almost abrasive to me, but then I started watching it and getting into it and things like that. And then I realized a lot of that. Yes. My son's like, are you streaming? So either way, I feel like those different languages and different ideologies that are become normal to us, and we don't realize sometimes what is our normal. And then that in that same vein, Tim, it became normal for him to put women in a specific I don't want to say like category in his brain, but to think of women in a particular way when it comes to intelligence, or when it comes to, society, whatever it is. And it's really pulling out of him in different ways that people are questioning. Like you said, have you been hiding this? Is this who you are? And you're just now like brave enough to say it because Myron came on? Or did you just get a knock in the head or
Did you
something?
get bumped in the head or what? What happened? Where did this personality flip all of a sudden come in? And you cannot say it's because you had a kid. Because trust and believe, most men who have daughters, especially, don't go on this whole misogynistic kick. You know,
Right.
they actually normally
Hmm.
become a little bit softer and
Yeah.
a little bit more understanding
And
than before.
yeah, you're right. And I have a great example of this as well. Back in, this was 2006, so this was quite a long time ago. A lot different has happened in the culture since then. But I was in the Air Force. I was working in a very male-dominated field as an aircraft mechanic, and I can tell you I've worked with all different kinds of men. And there's different types of women that are in that. Very few women, but the men that had daughters and were raising daughters to be strong and women with a good sense of self and things like that were, I don't want to say put anybody's spot of treating me better or worse, but there was a great dynamic there of like, let me help you, show you how to do this. Let's work together, turning wrenches and everything else, everything that is involved with making this military
Mhm.
operation happen. And there was like a great level of respect there, and I could identify that different. And yeah, I mean, I had guys that treated me great that weren't fathers or anything, but yeah, it created that dynamic, because I did turn wrenches with my dad, and I know what that feels like. And that, yeah, so there's something else going on there. Go ahead.
I've I've had that dynamic before. I've experienced being in several different fields that I've worked in throughout my life. Men who have daughters tend to look at other women and go, "Here, let me give you the tools to succeed
Mm-hmm.
and let you do it on your own," versus men who either don't have children or men who have boys. The
Mm.
men who have boys, they want to be able to control it. They want to like tell you, no, you can't do it. I'm not saying everybody, they tend to be a little bit more misogynistic when it comes to the fact that women can or cannot do things.
Right. I
And
totally
I
agree
find
that.
that men who do not have children at all tend to fall a lot more into that category than not.
Right.
So, literally, when you have a child, something clicks and wakes up inside of you, both men and women.
Yeah.
It is for
I
the
totally
vast
agree with that.
majority of people. Oh, I'm saying not everybody gets that wake up call, but there are the vast majority of people who have children. All of a sudden, it's just like something clicks inside of you, and you start looking at people differently. You
Mhm.
start interacting with people differently.
So that must be what's going
So
on with Tim, but it's like maybe it's because he's a father later in life. I don't know. I was 26 when I had my son. I think if I was close to 40, I have no idea where I would fall socially or whichever. I don't know. I'm not trying to make excuses for any of it,
no,
but I'm trying to say, like, that is an interesting dynamic for us to kind of bring up. It's like him being a parent is coinciding with him having more misogynistic tendencies, and he just had a girl. So it's like, are you trying to bring up your daughter in a world where other men think that she might not be smart enough to understand the political conversation going on? Like, because that's what
even though
he's
that
doing.
you
And that's
say that
why
you're
I
going
am doing
to
this right now, because I don't want his
yeah.
little girl to have to deal with misogynist fucking YouTubers to say stupid shit and put women. Don't make me defend feminism, okay?
Well, and see, and that's something that we're gonna break down. We're gonna do a series of this.
Yes.
We're going to
Yes.
explain the history of feminism, where feminism has shifted, and the new age feminism that is currently being shoved down our throats. We are okay with the first wave of feminism. Second wave is starting to shift. This new as whatever you want to call it is disgusting, and this is what we want to fight against. We want the pendulum to swing back the other way. We want people to be educated and understanding. And we, what's going on right now is not any of that. It's just communism shifted as feminism.
Yes. We gotta do it. Oh.
But in regards with Tim and his daughter and having her later in life, I honestly don't think that that was it. I honestly think it was he's being influenced by people who
They
are
seem to have the right
misogynistic.
answers. They look like they got
Yeah,
all the
see, I'm not
answers.
I don't think it's necessarily him having a daughter, because he keeps promoting about how he wants to raise her to be smart and independent and be able to do things for herself, just like
Mm.
you and I were. We were raised to know the differences and be able to go, okay, if nobody's around, who's going to do it for me? Me. I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit there on my hands and wait for somebody else to do it. Now, if somebody else is there and they're physically capable of doing it, yeah, by all means, you do you. Go ahead, be the man, do your job. But if you are a man and you're failing and you can't do it, you better believe I will do it for you. And I know that that's the kind of person that he's raising his daughter to be.
Mm-hmm.
So where all this misogyny is falling into play, I have no clue, besides being influenced by somebody who does not understand the impact of the level of misogyny. Having a little bit of misogynistic tendencies, okay, cool. That falls under being cocky. It's when it becomes excessive that it becomes extremely negative and hurtful and impactful in
I
the
just think it's
wrong way.
ignorant for either male or female to assume that they have a leg up, or they don't have a leg up, either or, just because they're gender. Like that just that you
Exactly.
need to look at the people as the individual. And not only that, it's like I've thought about this a lot. I'm like, am I pissing into the wind when I'm just yelling about this kind of stuff? If when we're gonna do like this whole deep dive, like you just announced on here, this deep dive on feminism, and I'm like, is this worth a shit? Does anyone care? And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, maybe there's other women doing this, and maybe there isn't. But like Tim always says, what do I want to leave behind for the future? Do I want to leave behind in this world this rhetoric from people like, he's definitely not the worst offender. I'm only
Mm-mm.
ragging
Oh
on
God,
him
no.
because I appreciate his work and I
We
respect his work
watched.
and I want him to be better.
Yeah.
So let me just get it clear. This isn't like a rag on Tim Pool. This is kind of like me being supportive of his work and being like, dude, don't fucking fall to the narratives of people like Myron and all these other whatever that are putting all this out like that.
Be
I want to
better.
put
Go
out,
back to being genuine like you used to be.
yeah,
What happened?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
we are still fans. We appreciate the work, but don't ostracize your
you can
audience.
be much better. And I don't want just that out in the world. And I know you don't either. And so that's why we're going to do our
Mhm.
own thing. And I don't need any man's
Yep.
permission to do it. And I know that women have done this on social media platforms and streaming and stuff. And men have done this and women have done that, whatever. But me, my story is Jessica, Amphibian Goddess on Rumble, and Prophetess Cash on YouTube. What I want to say about all that is just clear some shit up about feminine nature and feminism and how all of that has just corrupted society, and we don't need any of these misogynist bullshit opinions in between there making it worse. I'm going to counter the bad rhetoric with good rhetoric. Amen.
Mhm.
We're recording again. Tell me what you were telling me about these chicks that are trying to steal Cnosky's
Okay, so
the Quiet
Chris
Part pod.
Cnosky,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Chris Cnosky, we all call him Nosky, or Sinosky. He has had a show called The Quiet Part Pod. I've been on there several times. He has had this show since 2023, and now all of a sudden some lady who went on Timcast after him
Mm-hmm.
is doing a podcast with her friend, and they called themselves the Quiet Part Pod. They are trying to trademark this name, even though he's had it. They've flat out told him and been in contact with him that he needs to change his name. And he goes, no, this is what everybody knows me by. No, I'm not changing it. So they're still going ahead and trying to trademark this. So he's going to put in an appeal when it goes to that process. So hopefully something happens and they can't actually trademark this name because, well, he's had it longer. And these chicks, they're going in and they're kind of doing what you and I are doing. They're dabbling a little bit in politics, but they're more doing it on the sex appeal type side. Like you and I, we're, dressed normally. They are taking it a little bit further. You should see the thumbnail. It will explain all of itself. And I'm just like, really? This is unacceptable. Stop. I understand that there's not many people doing for female wise. There's not too many people doing what we're doing. More power to them. But if you already know that somebody has that name, why are you going to continue to use that name and tell the person who, granted, they may be a smaller content creator than you are because you are sub famous? I get it. But at the same time, no, 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 go pick a different name. You already know the Quiet Part Pod is already taken. So throwing it as the Quiet Part Podcast, semantics. Knock it off. Get a different name. Stop trying to trademark that one.
And you said they're trying to steal what we're doing,
Well, I don't think that they're trying to
or
steal
you know what I mean?
what we're
They're trying
doing,
to
but
be
they are
female
definitely.
commentators in a political kind of sphere.
Yeah, they're definitely doing what we're doing, and I thought it was funny because we had already started this, and then all of a sudden, up pops up pups their first episode.
Oh,
and I'm like, we're already 8 or 9
with one of our
in.
friends' names.
Yeah, with one of our friends' names for,
Oh my
their show title. And I'm
God.
like,
Alright,
universe,
let me
what is
explain
going on
something.
over here?
I want to explain something because I work in the real world in this industry too of egos and things, and people think they have original ideas all the time. And the thing is, an idea is just an idea until you fucking do it.
Yeah.
So if I have an idea and somebody takes that idea and does it better and puts their own spin on it and puts their own little fucking sprinkle of magic on it that is their own and it's a good fucking thing, let them do it. Because I know that no one can do what I do. And I don't have to steal ideas because I come up with the best ideas. So if they can do it, if they're doing it, whatever.
But I'm on the standpoint of go ahead and do you. Just pick a different name.
Oh my
Leave
God.
Cnosky's name alone. He's had it longer.
Okay.
Come on.
So this is also, do you remember my idea I was telling you kind of about? And there needs to be, like when you look at the Daily Wire and when you look at Blaze and all these others, they're just like, little network and stuff like that. It's like maybe all of us should just like band together, and I don't know who'd be in charge of all of that. We need to have our own little network, and part of that could be having people that handle name disputes and shit like that. Just streaming, you know what I mean? For you to just start promoting each other organically.
Well, that's why I created that list and I sent it to everybody. So everybody, we can start promoting each other and being, because we are our own little community. So
Nora's the
why not
secretary.
uplift us all?
She's the secret ringleader of the organization. It's like any good criminal organization. You never know who's running this shit. Turns out it's the secretary.
Right.
Ooh. Women. Only women could come up with something that brilliant. Come on. A man would be like, I run this thing and I'm the God King. Fucking idiot. Anyone with real power doesn't have to speak it. You know what I mean? It just is.
Exactly.
Just how it goes.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you run the damn thing, then that's a different kind of thing if you want to be the head of the organization. Just saying. So you can stay in the shadows if you want. Do your thing. I'll run it. What do you say?
There you go.
I got these boys' futures plans already. Draw me up a Daily Wire contract. No, but let us get back slightly to females versus male and running things, because this arrogance isn't just, a male or female trait that I have. And a lot of the things that I thought of as positive female role models. Do you remember this growing up in the 90s? We're around the same age if people haven't seen us before. Yep. We are
Spice Girls.
Yes, I remember Spice Girls growing up. Do you remember Lilith Fair?
Yeah.
And all this, it was like, woo.
Oh yeah, Lilith Fair was awesome because, they had like Sheryl Crow and Alanis Morissette and all of
Melissa
them.
Etheridge and what's her
Melissa
name?
Etheridge.
In the arms of the angel. What's else? Sarah McLachlan.
Sarah McLachlan, Bonnie Raitt, and all of them. Yeah, they all teamed up together, and it was great. And even Jewel was there a couple of times. So yeah,
and it wasn't.
I remember all that.
Matriarchy, misandry, anything like that. It was kind of like, hey, we're women, and that's a good thing to be a woman. And there was a lot of other time in history where we had a difficult time just existing in the spaces. Oh God, I sounded like a fucking liberal. Okay, you know what I mean. There was not. There was a time, and it's even written in history books of how bad things were. So actually that needs to be stated too. That I do
that's
understand.
Where we're gonna go into our deep dive.
Yes, my computer's gonna.
we will definitely do a deep dive on the history and the evolution of women and feminism in general.
Yes, I'm excited to get into that. We're going to just look at how things were and how they are now and how they're going and how we do not want them to go by how the current narrative is shaping up. And we're going to do everything we can to prevent that because, yeah, we don't need the pendulum to
Let's bring
swing
awareness for
like
change.
this. We should be coming together. Let's make it happen. Yes, together and all that. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see y'all next time.